to share this pen. It's the Moonman Koi pen. It's shaped like a koi fish, sort of. We'll see in a minute. I haven't opened it. I got this off of Taobao, which I'll explain what it is in a minute. And the box is a little dented, which is fine with me, but it's because it was shipped twice. So I hope you'll enjoy opening this with me. Okay, let's get started. So for those of you who don't know what Taobao is a lot like AliExpress. It's a huge online marketplace, but from China, but with even more items and a myriad of items. The biggest problem shopping there from anywhere else is the app is only in Chinese, and most places don't ship to the US. What you have to do is hire a shipping agent to order things from the sellers, and then they get shipped to the warehouse, and from the warehouse they'll package it up and ship it to you. Like I said, you can buy anything on Taobao. What I mainly use it for, and don't laugh, is socks. I really think it's funny. I don't know why, but we have a family of 4 and we go through so many socks, and socks disappear, and good athletic socks are expensive. So I buy them in like large quantities, and I buy other things too. I buy like towels and like smaller towels and like pajamas, things like that. Because when you buy clothes, there's a special shipping option where they just throw it in a plastic bag and send it to you, and it's really cheap. But you can get like a pair of, like very, very good socks for extremely cheap. The one thing I've known over the years is one of the things that's restricted from shipping out of China is ink. And I was curious because I kept seeing ink pop up on my Taobao app. Could I get some ink shipped if I stuck it in with other stuff? And guess what? It worked. At first, I had to change this shipping with the agent. I had to change the shipping, the company from China to the States, but then it all worked out. If you want any advice on what shipping agent to use, I'm a little hesitant to give, advice, because it's like there's so many you can use, and most of them speak English, but not one of them is perfect, I don't think. I use the one I use because it's now it's a known quantity. I can deal with them, but it's not always straightforward or easy. But the shipping agents, for the most part, will communicate with you in English. So the reason why I showed that these were dented, I think the reason why this got dented is, number one, I shipped other things with it, but number two, it's getting shipped twice. So it's shipped from the seller in China to the warehouse, and then from the warehouse to me. And in that process, there's a lot of people handling it, and the shipping agent actually opens up. You can request them not to open up, but I request them to open up everything and take photos of it and send it off. And so I can see what's the quality of the item and what condition it's in. So, okay, so here we go. Oops, I kind of got so excited I started to slip this off. Okay, so here we go. This is how it came. So Moonman, which I think is the same as Mahjong. I could be wrong. And what I love is it says Moonman, feel the temperature of writing. Oof, exclamation point. So I'm excited to feel the temperature of the writing of this pen. So it came with this little sleeve, nice big M. Oh, look, that's cute. It's like fountain pens. Oof. And then here's the box. Let's open it. Oh, here we go. Once again, it's telling us to feel the temperature of the writing. we have a little, yeah. Oh, here we go. Match on. So this is, uh, I think this is just a general, it's so funny. There's English, but I think because it has like piston and plunger converter, vacuum converter, eyedropper. So I think this is just like an all-in-one instruction manual. Um, and then we have ink. This is Pen BBS, and it says black fountain pen ink. I've never used Pen BBS. So this is the problem, right? This is ink. And I ended up shipping this EMS, which is like, I don't even think they care. Like, I put in a bunch of samples as well, which I'll share at a later point, and it all came just fine and dandy. So I'm not going to ink this pen up with this because you know, it's just black ink, and I'll try it at a different point. But it's nice that it's included. It's a nice bottle. Okay, but ooh, here's the pen. Okay, wow. So as you can see, let me take it out of its plastic. It is shaped like a koi fish. See, it has a tail, and the acrylic itself is very, you know, patterned like a koi fish. On this silver band, it says Moon Man. And then, let's open it. I'm just assuming, okay, so it has a metal grip section. And I don't think, I should double check, I don't think I got to choose the nib size. So this is a fine. This looks like one of those, I think Schmidt. It might be one of, it might be like a knockoff, but I personally loved Schmidt nibs, so I doubt if this is one. And here we go. It comes with a converter. I always turn converters the wrong way. And I think, you know, it's a very straightforward pen, but I think for me, I know it's a bit of a novelty to be like, oh, it's a pen shaped like a koi fish, but heck, it's a pen shaped like a koi fish. And honestly, it was extremely cheap. I am just jumping in here with a voiceover from Editing Mari. I misspoke when I talked about this pen. I didn't buy it for extremely cheap. It was cheap though, and it was $10 on Taobao. And what I do to, I estimate shipping to be, you know, like $5 an item. It's usually less, but at least that gives me an idea. Okay, would I spend $15 on this pen? And since it was the pen and a converter and ink, for me it was worth it. And also was part of it was the experience of would it get here, and thankfully it did. And I inked this up with Ackerman Chinatown Red, which is quite a nice red. And I talk about this later, how I found it uncomfortable, a little awkward to write with, and I've written with it since, and I've gotten used to it. I don't find it as awkward. I probably it's good for me for like 15-20 minutes writing, so for journaling or other small, you know, little notes, I can use it. Sometimes I write though for quite a while, so I don't think I could use this pen for that, but for everyday easy use, it's quite a nice pen to have. And also it's the first kind of, I don't know, not very serious pen I've bought, so it's just makes me happy when I see it, and it makes me think of koi fish, which makes me think of Japan, and that makes me very happy. So yeah, I'm pleased with the way it writes now, and that I've gotten used to it. So I recorded a video talking about the actual writing experience with this pen, and I lost it, so I'll try to remember what I said. And I was super eloquent in that video, so it's a shame that it's gone. I mean, of course I'm joking. So I found this pen, even though the nib, it was soft, like the nib itself I didn't have a problem with, but there's something slightly awkward when I write with it. It doesn't hurt. I just find myself like writing, like I have to be slightly more careful. I can't write as fast with this pen, and I think it has something to do with the grip section. The pen I'm probably most comfortable with, and I just kind of compared it for my own, just for me, is a Sailor Pro Gear Slim. And even though it's interesting, the grip sections are pretty much the same, but because of where like the step is, I have to hold, and this, I'm not even sure what those are called, tines? I'm sure that's not right. I have to hold it like I think in a slightly more awkward position for my hand than I do a Pro Gear Slim. I think where my thumb lies isn't quite as natural for me. So yeah, I think it's a bit lower. So I think it's one of those pens over time I would probably get used to it, but that was the one thing I found for my hand. So let's compare the size of this Moonman Koi pen with some other pens. I'm always a little like, what do I compare it to? So here we go. We have a Jinhao 82, which you can see it's a much different size. We have our good old Pilot Kakuno with its smiley face. I found it Platinum Preppy. Because this is a cheaper pen, I thought, oh, let's compare it to Preppy. And then maybe we can do a Pilot Vanishing Point. So you can see the length is most similar to the Preppy and the Kakuno. This is, the Jinhao is much smaller. Taking off the caps, you can see how the grip section is much smaller. And I think it's closest in size to the Kakuno. I think it's good that it's long, because who knows if you really want to post it. And but it's an average size pen, and I know many people don't like to write with a metal grip, but I don't mind. So that's the Koi pen that I just purchased. I went and double checked to see if this was still available on Taobao, and not from the seller I got it from. There is another version available which has different packaging. Looks like it has red ink, and the packaging is much more fancy. And I double checked to see if it was available on AliExpress, and it is. And it is around $27, I think, on AliExpress. So is this pen worth $27? I think if you collect Koi items and you want like a unique pen, I think it might be worth it. I'm trying to get into focus. Because it is interesting, and I think like the acrylic itself, does have depth to it and is quite pretty. And I've never seen, and in my limited experience, I've never seen a Koi pen before, a Koi shaped pen. So I think it is worth it if if it's worth it to you, like any of these things are. As just a functional pen, do I think it's worth $27? No, because for $27 you can buy a Pilot Prera on Amazon, and that's a much far superior pen. For $27, I think you can also buy, I don't know, you can buy a couple of Preppies, or or two Kakunos at least. So I think for me, the $10 I spent on this was well worth it. Not only for the pen, but also kind of seeing what it was like shipping from Taobao, and using the shipping service and seeing, would it get here because it has ink, and it did get here. So in the future I have some ink to share because there was one ink thing I got that did break, and so that will be interesting to share. Thankfully it was just like a little vial, but but you know, who knows if I'll go further in my exploration of Chinese pens and inks through Taobao. But for this purpose, it was really fun, and I'm looking forward to using this over time and seeing, like, am I just like, oh, you know, like this pen is actually really great, or, you know, oh, this shape is not good for a pen. But thank you for watching as always, and I hope you have a great, great day. Bye.